So we recently, for example, put out a brief just in October of last year, looked at over 2 dozen different content, what we call content regulation initiatives. So efforts by governments, whether that's lawmakers passing new laws or courts interpreting existing laws or regulators stretching their authorities under existing laws. What they all had in common was an effort to deal with content related harms, right? So everything from disinformation to bullying to hate speech. And countries have sort of experimented with trying to do that in different ways. We wanted to sort of take a step back and take an inventory of all those efforts, look at them all through the same prism, which is international human rights principles, that were set out decades ago and are sort of universally subscribed to and are meant to ensure that we don't have the kinds of government overreach that has led to, some of the calamities of our recent history. And then sort of, through that lens, be able to come out with some advice for policymakers and lawmakers. So we have a series of recommendations at the conclusion of that analysis, talking about, the kinds of unintended consequences that unfortunately we were already seeing in some places, as well as where perhaps one country has actually found a way to do something, in a more tailored and targeted way that we think is actually worth thinking about as a model. There is no, to sort of cut to the chase, there is no single model legislation that's going to work everywhere. Each country's problems are different and their legal frameworks are sufficiently distinct that everyone's going to have to come up with their own approach. But I think there are principles and sort of high level guidance that can translate across borders. And we're very eager to try and help identify those and share our learnings with lawmakers and other stakeholders.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the things that the EU